Alrighty, we are here to dive deep into Scorpio season. The sun moves into the deep fixed water sign of Scorpio on October the 23rd at 6:36 a.m. That is followed immediately by a new moon, which is a new moon in Scorpio. It happens with the south node that the collective is going through. Um, And this partial solar eclipse happens on the 25th of October. Scorpio season goes from October 23rd until November 22nd. So we're just going to dive deep. Fixed water sign, very intense sign. I was reflecting and before I came on, and I think one of the last couple of card reads I did, the energy came up of introspection. So a lot of deep diving into our inner emotional realms. Some of us may be feeling more drawn to the occult, to really diving into our emotions of what fears are, what death means for you. And so we're just going to really dive into this. I'm a little bit wired this evening coming to you guys, just feeling a lot of anticipation, a lot of the intensity already. And as we go through these eclipses, these being wild cards, um, with the south node of in Scorpio first, and then in November we will have the lunar eclipse in Taurus. Um, and that is taking place, I do believe, on the United States' election day on November 8th. So talk about intense because the United States is in its Pluto return. Pluto is the modern ruler of Scorpio. This has to do with our values, our resources. Um, so there's a lot of karma up on the platter to be healed and dealt with. It's intense. Um, It is about death and rebirth, about the transformation, and let's just get into it. I'm going to share my screen first and just intuitively share what comes up for this new moon in Scorpio with a partial solar eclipse. And as you can see there, this is the planet of Venus. She will be conjunct this eclipse. Venus in Scorpio is craving depth in relationships, craving to have the intimacy on a deep level, right? Kind of a bullshit, no bullshit when it comes to relationships with others. They want to go deep. And so we have why this pulled this up, I'm not sure because it's happened. This solar eclipse is happening at 2 degrees. So, and I did put in the time on my chart here for what the time says on my calendar. Um, so let's just roll with it. I know it's happening at 2 degrees. So we have the moon and the sun kissing in the heavens. That's what creates the dark moon, the new moon. And then we have the planet of love, beauty, value, our feminine archetype right there with it. So this could be huge transformation for many of us on the um, path that have been doing their work of finding new creative, intuitive ways to have relationship with self and others. Um, Eclipse energy is always kind of a wild card, and it is a collective because the North Node here with Taurus is with North Node in Taurus is with Uranus, the planet of awakening, the planet of quick, sudden changes. It is still in about a 1 degree square, 1 degree orb square with the planet of Saturn. So huge transformation, a lot of tension still with old ways, new ways. And so I'm just going to say with this transformative energy and eclipse in Scorpio, this could be a final releasing of letting go of some maybe some fixed emotions that you've been carrying. This is also a new moon, so it's also still that never ending, the newness, and allowing for the death. I was thinking about it today when I was sitting outside. Even the leaves shed, the trees shed their leaves. They die, so to speak. They fall to the ground. And what happens is they compost the ground. They create better soil for the bees to have a better place to hibernate through the winter, to go into the inner depths of the soil, to allow them to have a rebirth in the spring. Everything dies. So the death and the rebirth, the resurrection symbol behind me, the phoenix coming out of the ashes, is you symbolically rising from the ashes of the things that you've let die in your life, whether it be emotions, whether it be old versions of yourself. This planet of Venus there, very powerful with this eclipse because she, again, somebody in their power knows their value, knows the beauty and the sacredness of life, knows that I want depth. I want to go deep. This is even a sign known, Scorpio's known for eroticism. Um, the sexual rules the sexual organs. And why is that? It's the creative center, it's the sacral chakra. So, where does life begin? In the dark womb. So, think about that with this dark moon solar eclipse. What is done? What is dying? And then, how can you rise from the ashes as we go forward? Again, that tension between Saturn and Uranus could be this tug of war even within you. And then we have this happening of the collective, right? As we're awakening and going through all of this transformation. Pluto's huge here too, because it is the modern ruler of Scorpio. It's in Capricorn. So this Taurus Scorpio, the Pluto return of the United States, very symbolic. It's about shared resources again. Scorpio is. It's about, you know, your allies. It's your finances. It is anything that's through an institution like a bank. This is also representative of even your partner's income. How are you transforming? Where are you gaining clarity on true values in life? The last 2 years should have showed everybody that we need to reassess. We need to let things die, specifically in this Capricorn energy because of the Pluto return of the structures. Let the things of the die that need to die and allow them to die well, meaning a lot of people have woken up to the fact that the government, the institutions, whether it be schooling, religion, not passion, that old age is dying. We're asked to go forward into a newness here with the Uranus North Node in Taurus. How is this all connected to this eclipse? Because we have the beautiful planet of Venus that rules Taurus, the earth, fixed earth sign, values our self-worth, our resources, also rules Libra, balance. Where is the balance within you? So I love that. We are going to pull a first. I chose probably one of the darker decks that I have. And when I say darker, I just mean the depths. Because Pluto Scorpio goes into the underworld, into the depths, into the things that you may not see, but you feel. And so again, another water sign happening here. Um, Emotions, intuitiveness. Again, Samhain's coming up. Scorpio season's deep. So happy solar return to any of you sun sign Scorpios. And then again, we are made up of all four elements. So we all have scorpionic energy within us. Just depends on if you have planets there or any aspects to that. And again, it's about balancing out all four elements within us. One of the very first books that I read on my journey of astrology was Deborah Silverman's The Missing Element. It's a phenomenal book. So from the Heal Yourself Oracle, we're going to draw the first anchor message for not only Scorpio season, but these eclipses that we are already feeling the energy of, taking us into the introspection, maybe going into some emotions that are fixed within us, to rattle them out, to allow them to die, maybe perhaps coming out of a victim mode of betrayal, and allowing them to die well so you can resurrect from the ashes for newness, for light, for transformation, and expect as I think we're already feeling it, intensity, because that is one of the biggest things with Scorpio energy, intensity. Pay attention to the signs. So during Scorpio season, the veil is always the thinnest. Will this change as we proceed into our awakening? Most likely, but Scorpio season's always been known for a thinning of the veil. It's when we can have our ancestors really tapping on the door, and all it is a matter of you being open to feel them. And I'm very sorry about the quality of this video. I broke one of my other devices this week, so this is the best we get. Pay attention to the signs. Card number 10. So there's this gal walking on a path in the forest, and she has an owl in the tree. And for me, the transformation that happened in my awakening was definitely being able to drop the intellectual mind and be more open. I've always been open. Even as a child, I had some experiences where I knew that we were more than just the body. So paying attention to the signs, she's got a lantern walking there forward. Um, she's also got a little building there that has a cross. Oh, I just totally disappeared. The cross on the top of it, hard to see again with the quality of this video. Uh, but to me, it's about having a strong faith. It's about being able to dive deep into your emotions, your feelings, your senses, the things that you can't even wrap your intellectual mind on, and pay attention to the signs that are coming and being given to you during Scorpio season. And also these eclipses. I want to highlight this because they are a wild card, and they are an eclipse is this is done. So whether it's happening with your own awareness, or whether it be something in your life that has needed to change and you've been too fixed in it, this would probably be a powerful time over the next during this eclipse season, which is again on October 25th and November 8th. Yes. So huge transformation in death and rebirth. So I just pulled out a few of my astrology cards that I want to share with keywords on it, where this takes place in your birth natal chart. Find out where, and you can do it on astro.com is one of the websites that I often use to find out which house this is happening for you. So what you do is you find the Taurus Scorpio axis, and those are the houses. You can just, if you don't know what the houses mean, you can go and look them up. And I find it very accurate, it always triggers an introspection within you when you start learning your own birth natal chart. So the Scorpio energy is intense because it loves to go deep. It is masterful. So that is more of like the phoenix rising out of the ashes, where you've learned, I went through these painful things in this lifetime. This is what I've learned from them. This is how I see myself today. And knowing within you that all the things that you've healed and transmuted have made you the person that you're here today being, right? So Scorpio energy can also be secretive. Like there's an energy about Scorpio sometimes. I do know quite a few of them, and they can go into this energy of feeling like everybody's out to get them and pulling out their stinger and not allowing, because they feel so deeply and betrayal cuts so deeply to them. A lot of times that accumulative pain can cause them to be standoffish, not be open to new relationships, new ways of being. And I would give warning to that right now, to not be too stubborn or fixed in your emotions, because we're supposed to be here to live and learn. to not be a doormat, but to to transmute that into the Phoenix energy. And I lost my whole feed again. Excuse me about that. I don't know what I do there. I gotta move that. Okay, so the Pluto energy, which is in the sign of Capricorn, it rules this eclipse. It rules Scorpio season because it is the modern ruler. Mars is the old one. We can talk about that too. I could have while the chart was still up. It's in Gemini, getting ready to go retrograde on October 30th in the sign of Gemini, communication, short travel. Okay, so pay attention to that as well as we are in Scorpio season because this is a huge time of a lot of transformation with that Mars energy. Caution to not be subject to aggression within yourself or others, even seeing projections of people. There's going to be a lot of shit coming up out of the depths at this time during Scorpio season and Mars retrograde, revealing information that may piss a lot of people off. Stay your center, stay in the true roots of who you are, your authentic self. Continue to work on that because the flame is getting ready to be turned up. No doubt about it, especially the more we go into the lunar eclipse happening on the election day of the United States. So the Pluto energy is the ability to transform, to transmute. It is asking us to take a big late leap of faith for rebirth. So there is the Pluto energy. Darn, I wish the cards showed up better. So there is the Pluto energy, the Phoenix rising up out of the ashes. This rules the eighth house. The eighth house is our shared resources. The energy is transformational area of your life is about shared resources and intense emotions. So not only we will be, no doubt about it, because Scorpio season in general takes us deep. We have the eclipse happening on the south node where we were asked to let go. It's just a huge combination. I want to just come back to this, pay attention to the signs. Listen to your intuition. When you see things rising to the surface, trust your intuition and not the information that other people are dishing out. You'll know in your soul if something resonates and what feels to be deceptive, right? There's going to be a tug of war because, like I said on my last video, the asshole control people who think they're elite. They know astrology too. They know how to tug on people's emotions in the depths of that. So what do we want to do now? Let's do an animal oracle. I haven't drawn from this deck in quite some time. This is the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. What is the energy for the Scorpio new moon solar eclipse? I'll be coming back on to do a card reading for Scorpio season specifically as well. Last month I started a little 5-card draw for each season. I do believe I put on it October, but I'm going to do it according to the astrological signs for the month that we go into. So what is the spirit animal message for Scorpio eclipse specifically, or eclipse season, we can say? Skunk spirit, know your worth. This is the time, card 54. This is the time, like I shared before, to frickin' stand in your power, to know who you are, to know your true self-worth. And to me, there's been a lot of transformation happening on an individual level. It's sped up with the collective as well, especially over the past 2 years. So you got to know who you are. You can't be tossed around by all of the confusion and the overload of information and all the technology. We have to go into the depths of ourselves, into our soul in this Scorpio energy, find out who you truly are if you haven't already, rise in your power, rise in your power, know your worth. And if you don't know that, you are a beautiful divine child of Creator who incarnated on this planet at this time through these huge transformations that we're going through. And you got to know who you truly come from. You are cut from the cloth of the divine. You are a spark of the universe. Your energy matters. You're powerful. So it's a time of knowing your worth. Card 54. 5 plus 4 is also a 9. So that's also like a completion number. I know this instantly because I'm a life path number 9. So maybe this for some of you is a message today that you are ending that cycle. The Scorpio season has the opportunity, if you haven't already, to take you deep into your knowingness, to reach into the depths of who your soul is, and to rise, baby, rise. You're intended to rise. You can see the dude behind. See this? Scorpio energy also represents an eagle too, where you can take that eagle's perspective. So like there's 3 symbols of it: the scorpion, the eagle, the phoenix rising. Huge transformational energies. Let's do another animal oracle. It's no doubt every time I come on, I have hot flashes. So I'm always dressing in layers. So warm for me. I should have turned the fan on. It's another message for everybody tuned in to listen. Thank you, Spirit. This one. Time to let go. Card 31. Groundhog. I love that. So love this deck. With the new moon, with the solar eclipse, it's like I said before, it's a planting of a seed, but it's also an ending. So it's time to let it go. Maybe this is also showing us that, you know what? Maybe this message today just inspired somebody to truly know their worth, to embrace their uniqueness. You know, I have groundhogs that live in my yard, and I watch them, and they're very diligent. They have a very keen sense of hearing. And of course, because we're going into fall, winter, they're starting to be in their burrows and hibernating. So this is telling me that this time, I think skunks hibernate as well. Now that I think about it, in my neck of the woods, they do. Um, just like I was using the metaphor earlier of the leaves falling from the trees and going into the soil for the bees, the earthworms, for creating a better soil, a new birth. This self-worth is so important with the skunk message. And then this one of letting go is knowing that we are always in a metamorphosis. We're always in a shift and a change. If you're awakened, there is no going back. You keep evolving and you keep leveling yourself up, not being better than. Just it's an energy that like you have epiphany after epiphany. The more you let go, the more you know your worth, and you just keep rising like the phoenix out of the ashes. Beautiful. Let me grab a drink. What messages, what card deck are we going with next? Kind of integrating the um, entire Scorpio season. But the reason I'm doing that is because the eclipse season is so powerful this year. Again, we have this solar eclipse in Scorpio, fixed water, and then the lunar eclipse, which I believe will be even more emotionally intense, if that makes sense, even though it's an earth sign, because it's happening in the sign of Taurus. In the United States, this is hitting tremendously. So let's get some more messages for Scorpio season, eclipse season. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. The Queen of Cups, intuitive and sensitive. The Queen of Cups too is somebody who is the queen of her emotions. She doesn't allow the pissing around. She doesn't allow somebody else to tell her what her worth is. She knows her value. This is huge with the planet Venus there with this eclipse happening. The Queen of Cups masters her emotions. She allows her intuition to guide her, like I spoke about a few minutes ago. And there's also a message here of sensitivity. So paying attention that your emotions and your sensitivity to others' energies and even your own emotions at this time are going to be heightened. So be the queen of them, be vulnerable with them. She's nude with her arms crossed over her chest. So this for some of you may be feeling guarded. Um, Once you do your inner work, when you do your shadow work, you won't feel guarded. You'll be more into the vulnerability because you just won't even allow any of the shady behavior outside of you, whether it be somebody else, whether it be an organization, to dictate over your deep feeling emotions, right? Totally, all of the water signs, completely. So, Cancer, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Again, if you, I love doing natal charts. I need to get my website up. I'm ready to do birth natal charts as I'm learning because I do have something to offer for everybody. I allow my intuition to guide me, and I'm still researching my own natal chart, which in transits, I'm starting to learn more about transits as well. So really fun, really intuitive and fascinating to me. Justice, soul contract. Right now, as we are all healing karma of individuals, collective karma, whether it be by country, family, you name it. The Lady Justice card wants balance. This is a major arcana. And so to me, let me just tune in here to see what I'm getting from it. Card 11 is also a master number. Keep faith on your path and your awakening, that we may have had soul contracts with people that we came in to finish up some business, so to speak, with in this lifetime. I know that it can be difficult. Relationships are always how we learn. And the ones that we allow to be closest to us are usually the ones that we allow to hurt us the most. So with the Justice card, just keep your thoughts, emotions in check, and know that your work is great. You're here on a time on the planet when it's so intense, right? With this perfect word for the Scorpio season, but we've been in that. Just know that you're here to resolve soul contracts. And as you free yourself from even like maybe karmic ones, you're also helping to free the other person, even if they're not awake. I know for me, this is huge because I have a lot of planets up in my 10th house, and I have a huge issue with structures. And I'm learning within myself that I incarnated in this country for a purpose. And God knows what we did in past lives, right? Let's do another tarot. Let's do another tarot. So how does Scorpio season? We're not there yet, but we're gonna be, and we are already feeling the eclipse energy as we build into that as well. So how you been processing? I've been going deep, deep, deep. Just layers of stuff that I've already been working on that I'm just having new epiphanies with. And so far I haven't been stuck in any emotions that are making me feel stagnant. I'm really allowing a vitality. So far, so good. So what else here for Scorpio season? Too many, too many. Pay attention to the signs as the thinning of the veil happens. You may be getting signs and maybe not been open to them. in the past. The Knight of Wands, passionate adventure. So this is about starting a new creative project to me, as I'm feeling, initiating a new passion, initiating the phoenix spark within you. Um, this is a feeling to me that there's an optimism that could be brewing within you if it hasn't been already. I know my girlfriend, she's getting back into painting her ceramics. I've been just diving into things that I'm passionate about, whether I'm constantly learning astrology, so that's a huge passion for me. I'm also very passionate about anything that's higher learning, being a Sagittarius and a strong faith. But this fire energy is telling me that if you're not already feeling that, which I think a lot of us are, you're going to just be asked during Scorpio season to start that, to initiate it. Love that. Love it. Let's do a couple star code cards now. Thanks for tuning in. If you're new today, I am Lady Virgo. I am passionate about just pointing people in the direction of inner, to know that you're powerful, that times are intense, and always encouraging people to know their true worth as a divine sovereign being here on this crazy fucking planet, right? Where there's so much duality, there's so much polarity, there's death, and with death comes rebirth. But the fact is, we love, and if you love, you're gonna lose physically, whether it be material things, whether it be jobs, whether it be resources, whether it be a loved one. That's what put me on my journey. If you're new today, I had a very beautiful empath son that transitioned out of his body before me, and I go into the depths. I grieve, and I will always grieve, but I'm also seeing the higher perspective, right? And rising like the phoenix out of the ashes, to know that there is a reason for everything. Nothing is coincidence. And then when you wake up, when you know better, you do better. So, yeah, long spiel on that, but I encourage you to go deep as well. Scorpio energy. Transits, the climate. We're going to read from this one. It is card 55. We have another master number here. Where did I get a master number before? Oh, with the Lady Justice. Transit, climate. Mm, mm, You're in the depths of your soul. You can expect during climate season, you see this being um, wrapped around the center, and then there's other circles around it, this infinite. But this is something to me that's saying that you're going to go deep if you haven't already. This is a newer deck. I want to read about transits. So funny that I pulled that because I thought about it earlier today. I thought, let's pull one that I can expand our message on. Card 53. Oh, I'm so having hot flashes. Okay, let's see what it's telling us with this message. Beautiful cards. Hmm. The planets are always moving through time and space, always spinning around us. When those planets from a geometric relationship to one another, they create transits. The astrological weather conditions of the day that affect us all. Just think about it. We're in the little planet called Earth, that we are a part of that. So everything, as above, so below, as I say. When a moving planet forms a geometric relationship to a planet in your natal chart, that transiting planet can act like a guest who enters your house, sits in your kitchen, or sprawls in your living room. It activates that part of your existence. That's why I'm getting into the transits, because which house You have different planets transiting is kind of a little guide, another guidance on the rudder of life, right? To allow us to be able to tap into what we may look into, what we may be transmuting, what we may be processing. I don't do predictive anything. I do it for guidance. And the reason being is because I know once you know your worth as a divine sovereign being, you become a co-creator to be able to transmute anything, any obstacle, any lesson in your life. And that's the power of the inner outer astrology spirit. So if that transiting planet talks to your Mars, it activates your warrior nature and fight or flight response. If it talks to your moon, it initiates a story centered around your home, your family, and how you nurture yourself. So think about it. We have the solar energy, which is our life force energy, with the moon, our emotional, intuitive body, and Venus, the planet of love, beauty, resources, your worth in the deep sign of Scorpio right now. This is for the collective again. Wow. So this situation is the flux and the surrounding conditions are changing. That's what eclipse season is, baby. Stay alert, aware, and be ready to respond to incoming opportunities or cautions. Some people are moving in, others are leaving. New opportunities open and old chapters close. Totally eclipse season. Listen to the grapevine for changes in personal and economic conditions. You are not in control of these elements, but you can make the most of these changes and dance with fate. People that walk into your life now may be karmically important. Soul contracts. That's where it's coming up. Either the relationship will last long or it may be short, and it may be pithy and teach you a valuable lesson. It can be helpful at this point to look at the transits in your natal chart. There is no volume control on this card's energy. Transits may trigger a small change in a personal around you, or it could signal a shooting star that blazes across your life and turns your direction entirely in a different direction. There's the night, there's the fire, there's the new adventure. Wow, just wow. The challenge when this card is drawn is wild cards are in play. We are in eclipse season. It is a wild card. Plus, we have Uranus in the fixed Earth sign. So this has been, squaring up with Saturn. This has been expect the unexpected for certain. For certain. You are not in control of who or what now brushes your life and then can be scary. Let me reread this. The challenge is, even though wild cards are in play, you are not in control of who or what now brushes your life, and that can be scary. Okay. So you could have interactions that are completely blindsiding to you, and it may feel scary because what that change, the unknown, can make you feel scary. So just that is the challenge with this eclipse energy that we're speaking about today, is just keep that in your mind to be cool, calm, collected, know your worth, know what you may need to let go or who you may need to let go. Wow, I'm disappearing big time now. So the gift of this transit is, even though life is an ever-moving circus and you do not control the people and events transiting your life, know that you are in a complete control of your response. Choose wisely, and that is where it is ultimately freedom. because I want justice on the collective. You know, I have a lot of planets in Libra personally in my chart. I want justice. I want to see it on the earth plane, but we can't really control what other people do. We can't control other people's awakenings or asleep. We can't control um, other people's projections, right? Because we're all playing out this and mirroring it with each other. So there's people that are hurt that are trying to hurt others and they don't even know it, or they intentionally do it, which is even fucking worse. So justice, boy, do I digress. This is huge. So this transit message is letting us know how we respond is where the power is. And that is so true. It is so true. At the end of the day, Lady Justice says, know your worth, know that you're divine, that you're sovereign. And because we have this polarity war, some can say dark and light, evil, divine, polarity, really a friction energy, old ways, old energy, new way, new energies in this conflict. Stay in the center. Stay in your centers as well as you can. You know, we are human. We waver. But when you know your true divinity and worth, you don't go so far off of this pendulum of codependency or letting somebody else dictate over um, your well-being. Wow. So huge. I love it. I'm so glad I read something. For the I am affirmation, for this eclipse energy in Scorpio, the I am affirmation spirit, the I am affirmation, Scorpio, solar eclipse. Whoa, too many. Gonna keep that one. I listen with love to my body. That's huge because we are integrating and changing and shifting so much. We have to be gentle with ourselves as we're allowing things to die, as we are allowing things to let go. See you bye. Doesn't mean it's not painful. We're going through a lot of changes with the Schumann spikes. The collective consciousness is affecting and talking to the universe back and forth, just like the planets speak to us as they transit different houses. So, huge advocate for listening to your body, being the queen of your cups, trusting your own intuition, because right now you can be led astray, you can be led to slaughter. Wow. Let's do another I am information. I am. I am evolving. We just got this on my last read, and I am willing to ask for help. This is so important. Please do. If you need help with anything, reach out to somebody. You are loved. You are evolving, and that evolution is very intense. It's very transformational. We go through these deaths and these rebirths, the more we keep, incarnating back on the planet. It's important to know your worth so that you can take these transits, these transitions, these transmutations of the scorpionic energy. Let it light your fire. It really does open you up to a new perspective and be able to see different perspectives. It allows for you to have the phoenix rise up out of the ashes and be that transformative spiritual warrior. Start a new passionate adventure if you haven't already. See the light in the darkness, but also allow yourself to sit in the depths of in your emotions, because this fixed water is very intense, right? Allow yourself to feel. That's how we heal. That's how we transmute all of this. And again, pay attention to the signs as the veil is most thin during Scorpio season. Really wanting to research more on Samhain. I find it very fascinating. Um, I was raised in a very um, I was raised in a Christian family. I love Yeshua. I love the Christ still to this day. Had a personal experience with his energy as a small child. Didn't quite resonate with me when I would be forced to go to a church. And I started asking questions, and the reason being was not that the church was bad. It's because humans have so many different personalities. And if you aren't truly living from your heart, you can tend to project and be the hypocrisy that a lot of people are witnessing, not just in churches, anywhere in life. And so anyway, how that came about as my awakening caused me to be able to rise up out of such very, very deep grief, very deep physical loss, losing my son, and to be able to see the bigger picture, to be able to dust myself off no matter how many times I need to do that, and to continue to rise in my worth, in my value, knowing I'm an intuitive, knowing that you are too, and that you're worthy of the same things, knowing that death comes in many forms, whether it be losing the body, whether it be the leaves falling. We're preparing in the Northern Hemisphere to go into the darkness of winter. And so never run from the dark. It's about balance of the polarities within you. And I really find it fascinating how astrology was created. No accident, this exact place of birth where you were born, time, latitude, longitude, snapshot of the heavens, including Earth and you, to help kind of guide you on your path. So this is the message that I have for us for Scorpio season, and specifically this solar eclipse happening. Again, 2 degrees, very powerful, transformative times. Go down into them depths, whatever it may be within you symbolically. And also know that with these eclipses, they're always on the nodes of the moon. This one's happening at the south node of letting go. Very deep, very intense. Again, that's what Beaver Spirit told us, was it's a time to let go. And there's also a planting of a seed there as well, with it being a new moon. So very, very intense and very kind of long-winded message today. I hope you stayed with me to the end. If again you're new today, check out my channel. Thank you so much to the returning listeners. I always appreciate you guys. I have just a small group of people who are always usually interacting in the comments, and I appreciate that. I would totally appreciate it if you're new to throw a comment down there too. And I send so much love to you all. Wowzer, shalom, shalom. Have a good one.